Black New Jersey students called chimpanzee and slave by classmates. Was put in an institution for mass. Another disturbing story out of a school system. In New Jersey, a leaked report commissioned by the school board to look into anti-Black racism at its magnet high school focused on global business and diplomacy reveals that Black students and teachers have endured racism and acts of bigotry since 2020 from the school's predominantly Latino students, with inconsistent and ineffective responses from the school's staff. So the Newark Board of Education board member, Don Haynes' daughter, Akila, was among a group of Black students who transferred out of the School of Global Studies due to the ongoing harassment. Since then, the school board has attempted to oust Haynes, whose daughter filed a legal claim against the school in the month of October, alleging, and this is a quote, religious, racial, and gender discrimination. Harassment also that caused physical and physiological or psychological, harm. The board claims Haynes has now a conflict of interest and could harm the district. In December, the state administrative law judge disagreed and rejected the board's effort to unseat Haynes. The state's commission of education, will issue a final decision in February. Let's put her up. So I'm going to take it to November 2022. Black student Terrell Coley told district leaders he had been called smart chimpanzee in his English class, and that his classmate, Akila Haynes, who is a Black person and also a Muslim individual, had been called the N-word and terrorist by Latino classmates while walking down the hall. Another student said she was called, quote, a slave, end quote. David Allen, a Black student who was then the school's student council president and the founder of its Black Student Union, told Chalkbeat that Haynes, who was his best friend and an honor roll student, had left the school due to the ongoing racism she experienced. Allen himself transferred out in 2023. Allen told Chalkbeat that a group of students in his history class made racist jokes about blackface, lynchings, and Black stereotypes in violation of the district's harassment, intimidation, and bullying policy, but faced no consequences. 2 Black teachers at the school who claimed they were subjected to racial harassment and hostility resigned and filed legal claims with the State Division of Civil Rights, reported Chalkbeat. They have since sued the district in a lawsuit filed in Superior Court of Essex County that alleges school and district leaders created a hostile work environment where they experienced racial discrimination and retaliation. The lawsuit is ongoing. Allen and 4 of his friends then compiled audio recordings of students using racial slurs during class and listed instances when Black students faced harassment and reported it to the school's vice principal, Hoda Abdulwahab, who promised an investigation. Superintendent Roger Leon promised students and parents at the board meeting that he would fix the problems. Leon held an assembly for the junior class where they were told, quote, if they don't feel comfortable, basically they can leave, the report said. This was interrupted by many students as, quote, if you don't like it, you can leave it, and seems to have catalyzed several Black students to transfer out of the school, as well as a few Black teachers. But the harassment by the same group of students continued. And Allen said when he met with administration officials months later, they claimed they knew nothing about the racist incidents the Black students had shared with the vice principal. Quote, so this kind of pattern with them, Allen said. So this is a kind of pattern with them, Allen said. They'll pretend they're going to do something and then kind of just sweep it under the rug and pray for the best and hope it goes away, end quote. So Coley also later transferred to another school district. So you got massive transfers happening. His mother, Brenda Brown, told the school board that it took days for the school to contact her regarding the, quote, chimpanzee slur directed at her son, and then nearly 3 weeks before the offending student was suspended. Other Black students and parents complained that the administration wasn't taking the racial incident seriously enough and that the disciplinary enforcement was lax. The draft report leaked this week said the Black students at Global Studies told consultants they were called the N-word on a regular basis by Latino students, as well as other racial slurs, including monkey, Black B-word, etc. Latino students also used vernacular phrases such as bruh and Wakanda forever in ways that were mocking. And in January 2023, a student reportedly made threats to, quote, take off and, quote, stomp on hijabs of Black women, Black Arab Muslim women, teachers, but faced absolutely no discipline at all. Students, teachers again. Reviewers found that some Latino students who used racial slurs and expressed anti-Black sentiment, that they would basically deflect their significance by claiming they were kidding, or they themselves identify as Black. Quote, importantly, no Latino or other non-Black student denied their Black peers' experiences or accused them of exaggeration. They basically co-signed that it did happen. The reports said Black students were further alienated by school assemblies organized by school and district administrators to address their concerns, the consultants found. An 11th grade student said the lack of punishment contributed to the frequency of racial incidents, despite being told 1,001 times to stop being racist. The non-Black students have been running rampant, saying the N-word and other slurs, but face no punishment. The student said, not anything, not a suspension, not an expulsion. Nobody was made an example, and teachers would say nothing about it. Some of the teachers and other adults at the school district described the Black students' experiences and descriptions of racial incidents as exaggerated and irrational, dismissive reactions that eroded trust between students and adults, the report noted. The school district has fought to block the public from viewing the report, assessing how it was handled, how it has handled outcry about racial discrimination or harassment of Black students of the School of Global Studies for a year and a half. A draft version of that report dated May 2023 was actually obtained by Chalkbeat, published this week. What do you have? You have culture. We've talked about this many times on Indisputable. You have a culture. You have a culture. And instead of the adults doing what they are supposed to do to provide leadership and guidance to the young and the immature in moments like this, they are providing coverage. This doesn't help the students who are being offended, and it does not help the students who are doing the offending. You are not in an academic environment simply to learn academics. You are there to understand who you are, what you are, and how you are in a social construct. This is where you learn your morality. This is where you learn your judgment. This is where you get a little wisdom, some guidance from people who know a little more than you know. But when you don't even have that structure, what will they have when they leave that school? Nothing. We're going to stay on top of this story. Obviously, my heart and prayers, your heart and prayers go out to those who are victims here. We've reported too many times on this show the extreme effect that this kind of bullying can have on a child. All right, Tehran, thoughts here?
My thoughts, first of all, I want to commend Terrell Coley and Akilah Haynes for being brave and speaking up and speaking out, doing what they're supposed to do. It is not easy, especially if they face academic or educational backlash because of it. Second of all, I want to praise them for going to the administration and accepting the hierarchy and thinking that something was going to get done. And now let's look at this, because a lot of people will say, but they're Latino. Just because they're brown doesn't mean it doesn't go down. There is a word for the N word in every language. Racism comes in multitudes of forms. And the idea is no government policy can fix racism, but we can abolish systemic racism and we can punish racist behavior. That's how we curb it. So I want to talk to those teachers who said that the students' fears and comments were irrational and see what race and background and ethnicity those teachers were, and see what the Black teachers that left that same school, what they have to say. Listen to the people that it happens to. Listen to the people that it happens to. This is another reminder of racism being rampant throughout our entire culture. It is not just the school's culture, it's American culture now.
That's right. Well said. All right, we'll bring updates as they come.